I am humbled by the speech of His Excellency, the Ambassador, and I have to say, and I have to write it down, that I cannot agree more with your view on culture and the use of culture in diplomacy. Before coming to India a year ago, I was serving for 5 years in Ramallah, in Palestine. And of course, that's a very difficult situation. And one, as a diplomat, cannot really hope to solve anything, because then, you would probably be thought of as being crazy if you think that you're going to solve anything over there. But for 5 years, I used culture. I was the representative of Malta to the Palestinian Authority. And for 5 years, I used culture incessantly. In fact, both sides were probably thinking, what was I doing? What were my intentions were? But interestingly enough, the Palestinian side saw culture as a way to promote themselves. So the fact that I, as a Maltese representative, I was bringing singing, dance, cribs, you name it, yoga, also in Jerusalem and in Bethlehem. Maltese, of course. I mean, it was a Maltese. It was a Maltese because then it wouldn't have made sense. And the interesting thing, as you mentioned, Your Excellency, what culture does in such situations. So obviously, like from the Israeli side, they were saying, okay, the Maltese representative on the other side of the wall is doing cultural things. We're not talking about then, the usual inflammatory discourse, etc., etc. And the Palestinians were also happy, because it was a way of, through that collaboration which we had with them and which they had with us, it was a show of statehood, which is something which they really, really yearn for. So the use of culture is imperative, I believe. And it's a way also of building bridges. It's a way of jumping walls, literally, from where I was serving before coming here. To go on, the country, I believe, mentioned that the motto of India is united in diversity. Now, as you may know, the motto of the European Union is also united in diversity. India was much united in diversity much before Europe. I mean, the European Union, in a sense, came out of the ashes of a war, and much more wars before. So, in a sense, it was Europe that learned from India. Definitely not the other way around. Today, the European Union is an emblem of unity in diversity, because you literally have member states who were at war with each other since not very, very, very long. And once more, the use of culture within the European Union, EU programs, etc., etc. As I was telling my very, very good friend, Mr. Ambassador Dinesh Patnaik, I am happy to see Delhi starting to vibrate again. And I'm really, really hoping to, even from my end, I already have some ideas, and thankfully just today I received an email from my capital to submit proposals for cultural diplomacy, and I have some ideas in order to hopefully bring some Maltese here once more, as I used to do in Palestine. Incidentally, I left there in September 2020, so it was in the middle of COVID. I came here in the middle of COVID as well, and now I'm happy to see that COVID is hopefully leaving us very soon. So, or at least not leaving us. Okay, I know I'm being a little bit too optimistic, but at least leaving us in peace a little bit. It will still be there, like all the other diseases, which are still there. Like influenza, you name it. So it will still be there. but hopefully it will leave us live our lives, right, Ambassador Patnaik? And hopefully it will give way, you know, the sea of COVID will become the sea of culture. So let us hope that COVID at least will allow us to live our lives, because culture is life. I mean, culture is everything, if you think of it. People think that, you know, culture sometimes is like when you say cultural diplomacy, oh, that should be in the last, you know, list, in the end of the list of priorities. But in fact, if you think of it, culture is everything, because there is the culture of economy, there is the culture of politics, there is the culture of even, you know, even issuing visas. I mean, something which we as EU member states are notorious for sometimes, but still it's a culture. So finally, culture is what defines everything else. So it should be on the top of the list, not in the bottom of the list. Thank you very much.